So hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Dazzling Dave and this is your match preview. Our team, Wolverhampton Wanderers against Fulham in the Premier League. Lots coming up on this one. So for this one, I just thought I'd have a little change, sit on my sofa and obviously talk about the game. We've got so much coming up. Obviously team news, thoughts, predictions, loads of stats and facts on this particular fixture. Wolves fans predictions. We've got the Fulham fan view from Fulhamish YouTube channel. My dad's on there as well to make you chuckle. And yeah, it's a big game, isn't it? Big game in the context, it's only the fourth game of the season after that dreadful performance and result against West Ham. Absolutely the worst performance I think that I can remember under a Nuno side, and Wolves have got to really bounce back. Fulham on the other hand having an absolute dreadful start to the season as well. They've lost all 4 games that they played, including a 3-0 defeat to Brentford in the week. And but lots of people are writing Fulham off. I think it's a really tricky game for Wolves this. It's a must win. But let's look first of all at some stats and facts. So on to the head-to-head. Wolves have only lost one of the last 10 league meetings with Fulham, which was a 2-0 loss in 2018 at Craven Cottage. And there has not been a Premier League away victory in the last 10 of this fixture. And Fulham have not won at Molineux since April 1985 in the league, losing 9 and drawing 3, and very much hope that that continues. So on to some Wolves stats and facts. And the defeat against West Ham, that 4-0 loss, was Wolves' heaviest Premier League defeat since 2012. And if Wolves do lose to Fulham, it will only be the 3rd time in the top flight that we've lost the opening 2 home games of the season. And Nuno's side at the moment, we've lost 5 out of the last 9 games. And Wolves currently are in danger if we got beat by 3 goals or more. Let's hope we don't get beat. Will be the first time since 2004 in successive games that that's happened in the Premier League. However, on a positive note, we are unbeaten in our last 7 games against newly promoted sides, running back to 2011 season. And one little interesting fact, Nuno and the Fulham manager Scott Parker were on opposite sides in the Champions League match when Porto beat Chelsea 2-1 in 2004. On to some Fulham stats and facts. So Fulham have not lost their opening 4 fixtures in the top flight since they were relegated in the 1951-52 season. However, on a bright side for Fulham, the last 4 teams to lose their opening 4 fixtures of a Premier League season all avoided relegation, the last one being West Ham in the 2018-2019 season. So far, Fulham have conceded 10 goals in their 3 games. The record for the opening 4 games of a season is 14, which was Southampton in 2012 and Swindon in 1993. And Fulham have conceded twice in 17 of their last 21 Premier League games. And one final fact, only Sheffield United and Fulham have not yet taken the lead in a game this season. So before I come on to my team selection, more team news and predictions, first off, here are some Wolves fans you might recognise from around the world giving their thoughts ahead of this one, followed by my dad, Magic Moss.
Hi Dave, Andy in Melbourne. Just going dark instead of just getting light for a change. Thoughts about the game against Fulham? Well, I think it's a great opportunity to right the wrongs of the West Ham disaster. Another week on the training ground and hopefully the new lads will have settled in a bit more. I'm going for a sneaky 2-0 win, I think. Not going to get carried away. I think Raul will definitely get 1, and I'm hoping that somebody from midfield scores. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Somebody breaking through into the box and slamming home some fantastic team effort goal. So yeah, I think 2-0. It's about as good as we can hope for. Cheers, bye.
Morning guys, Paul here from Spain. Predictions for the weekend. Nothing's ever easy in the Premiership, so I will go Wolves 2, Fulham 1.
So, hey, Dad, as everyone loves you as Magic Moss, how are you today?
I'm fine.
Okay, and how you feel? You what?
Bit disappointed in West Ham.
I was going to say, put one word to describe the performance and results at West Ham.
Disaster.
What?
Disaster.
So you wasn't happy at all, were you, Dad?
Yeah.
You're not happy?
What?
Not happy?
No, it didn't happen now.
So, Dad, I can see in the corner there is a little dog.
Yeah.
Is he a dog?
Yeah.
What's his name? What?
Sydney.
Can we see Sydney?
Yeah.
I can only see his one eye.
He's lovely.
All right, Dad. So, what do you think the score will be, and who's going to score against Fulham?
With a bit of luck, 2-0. Or with a bit of magic, 2-0.
Or a bit of both?
Is it Penosa?
Who's gonna score?
That new fella.
Who?
Did they play against West Ham? Did he? What did Penance? Is it Penance? I don't know.
Pedence.
Hey?
Pedence.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Say it.
Penance. Yeah.
Yeah, Pedence. Well done. And who else?
Torre.
Traore.
Yeah, he's about.
We've been predicting this. It's like, as in rugby, try, and then ore.
Torre. Yeah.
Okay, and so you think Wolves are going to win and bounce back?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's just a one-off. They'll get it. They get it right.
Well, I hope so. You predicted a 3-0 win against West Ham, Dad.
He'll be there shouting for them. Look,
Who will?
Ow!
Who? Is that Sydney? What does Sydney think?
That's life.
What does Sydney think the score's going to be?
2-0.
He agrees with you then.
Okay.
So Sydney agrees with you.
You what?
Sydney agrees with you 2-0.
Say that again.
Sydney agrees with you 2-0.
2-0, yeah.
Okay, Dad, let's hope. Fantastic. There you have it from Magic Moss. The score prediction.
Yeah.
And Sydney.
And Sydney, yeah.
Bye, Sydney. Does he talk?
I shall watch it tonight. When will it be on?
Usual,
Okay.
Dad.
What do you reckon?
You'll have to wait until after. Yeah, right. There you have it from Magic. Hey?
You can tell your dad.
Here we go. From Magic Moss. Love you, Dad.
Okay, son.
Love you.
Thanks for ringing. See you soon.
Love you.
Okay.
Okay.
Stay alert.
Stay alert. So thanks to those guys, and also my dad, as always. I hope he puts a smile on your face. Now let's hear the Fulham view from Sammy from the YouTube channel Fulhamish.
Well, from a Fulham perspective, things really aren't looking good. We've had two pretty big games this week, one against Aston Villa in the Premier League and then another in the Carabao Cup against Brentford, our local rivals, and we lost them both 3-0. And at the beginning of the week, you might have liked to think that there'd be two games that we'd win, and we've lost both of them pretty comprehensively. There's a lot of anger amongst the fan base at the moment, particularly with the ownership and Tony Khan, the director of football, because we haven't signed any defensive real recruits, particularly at centre-back this summer, and it was quite clear that we were going to need that to be competitive in the Premier League this season. Obviously the transfer deadline is on Monday and maybe we'll bring in some players. I would expect that we will, but they won't be here in time for Sunday's game up at Wolves. So from your perspective, obviously you've come back from a difficult defeat to West Ham. There probably isn't a better team in the league that you'd like to be facing Fulham at home, but I guess the eternal optimist as a fan, that you think that maybe this would be a really hilarious time for Fulham to go and get a result. A difficult place to go against a difficult opponent. Personally, I'm not really holding out much hope. Our defence is just so leaky. And I'm a bit worried, to be honest, to see the likes of Dennis Adoy going against Raul Jimenez and Adama Traore, because they're brilliant strikers. Wolves have been a good team for several years, and you've always been pretty dangerous up front, and there probably hasn't been a worse defence in the Premier League for the best part of a decade at the moment. Obviously that could change when we make signings, but right now it's really not looking great. So yeah, I'm not massively confident going into this game at all. I'd love to be proven wrong, and we do have dangerous players, and Mitrovic has had the better of Connor Cody before, and if he can really battle your defence, then maybe we'll get some joy there. And there have been some positives. The likes of Anguissa looks strong, and if Kenny Tete's back for this game, our new signing at right back, he's looked pretty good going forward too. But yeah, they're small glimmers of hope really from a Fulham perspective. I don't think many Fulham fans are predicting a draw or even a win from this game. It does look pretty nailed on that we're going to lose, but fingers crossed, you never know.
Thanks ever so much, Sammy, for your thoughts on that. Much appreciated, mate. So on to the team news. We know that at this point the transfer window shuts on the 5th of October, so that's coming up very imminently, and there's talk of Ruben Venego being sent out on loan with an option to buy to Olympiacos, and Wolves bringing in a new 19-year-old left-sided replacement. Obviously we'll follow that as and when it happens, but in terms of injuries, Daniel Pedence and Marcel are still an injury doubt, but they may be playing, so I'm going to assume that they're playing, because I really hope that they are fit to play. And don't forget, Daniel Pedence has also been called up for the Portugal squad, so you know he will definitely want to play, so he can go to that. So my team selection, I've pondered around with this and thought, will Nuno, because of the way we've been leaking goals in the last match, go back to 3-5-2? He's obviously clearly trying to change the style of play. I think he'll probably persevere with this one, and I think he'll probably stick with the 3-4-3, and obviously the three at the back: Rui Patricio in goal, Bully, Cody and Saiz. Both Bully and Saiz have come in for a little bit of stick. They haven't had a lot of protection, and I still believe that Wolves should have brought in a left-sided defensive, or move Bolly back onto that side. Just to reiterate, the young lad Hoover can also play in central defence, and we do have Max Kilman, so it wouldn't surprise me either if one of those doesn't get drifted in depending. But Hoover obviously does like to get forward, but obviously with Semedo coming in at right wing back, it's a possibility. But I'm going to stick with that back three for now, the normal back three, but there could be changes there. On the left hand side, if Marcel isn't fit, then Venego's sure to play his last game for Wolves for a while, or maybe forever, but I'm hoping Marcel is fit and he plays. Semedo on the right, in the middle Neves, and I think Moutinho's not really been on it. I think we need a bit more strength in the midfield. Dendonker's very underrated. I think Moutinho and Neves in some ways are sometimes too similar, work better in that three-man midfield. So I'm going to go with Dendonker. Up front, Traore, Jimenez, and if he's fit, Daniel Pedence. In terms of the score prediction for this one, do you know what? I'm really worried about this game. I'm a bit nervous about it, because Fulham, as I say, they've been on a hiding to nothing. Loads of people have been written them off. If I was Scott Parker, I'd be like putting all this Fulham are already paid out on being relegated up in the dressing room. They're going to have a bit of fight. You know, they've got Mitrovic up front. They've got Cavallero that'll come back and want to, you know, put on a really good showing against Wolves. And I think it's going to be a lot harder than people think. Fulham are definitely going to want to tighten up the back. Will they play very similar to how West Ham played against us? They've got a similar player up front that caused us all the problems in Mitrovic. Very strong, holds the ball up. He can be a danger. But I'm going to go on the side of being positive, as always. And I'm hoping it can be a 2-0, but I've got to suspect that we might leak another goal. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory. Joining the Pitch Football Prediction League. I'm not doing very well on it so far, as you can see. But join us and add the join code and join in the prediction lead, and obviously leave your thoughts and comments on what you think about the team, what I've picked, and also your score prediction and your goal scorers as well. So I'm really fingers crossed on this one. I will be doing a live stream. Hopefully it'll be a lot more cheerier than the last one. So please join me at that, and that'll be 10 minutes before kickoff throughout the entire game. And let's hope we can get the victory. 6 points out of 12 from the opening 4 fixtures, considering we've not really had a pre-season. Wouldn't be the worst start of the season. It would be good. And we've got the international break, and also just hearing today that the fixture against Leeds has been moved back to the Monday, so that does give Nuno an extra couple of days that he wouldn't have in preparation for the next match, obviously the England internationals. Well done on Conor Cody on getting picked for England again. Pedence getting picked for Portugal, and of course Conor Cody signing his new contract. Until the next one, I'm Dazzling Dave.